Testimony in Donald Trump's New York criminal trial starts back up tomorrow. Former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker returned to the stand yesterday, detailing a coordinated plan to suppress negative stories about Trump in the lead up to the 2016 election. Let's bring in Jessica Levinson for analysis of the trial so far. She's a CBS News legal contributor and a professor at Loyola Law School. So one of the things that I think people need to understand, Jessica, is catching and killing stories is not illegal, and even directing someone to catch and kill stories is not illegal. What stood out to you about David Pecker's second day of testimony and what the prosecutors are trying to show here?
Right, not illegal, maybe not great journalism, maybe shows a journalist working hand in glove with a presidential candidate, but not illegal. It only becomes illegal when you add the rest of the facts from this case on. And so David Pecker is important. He's the first witness for the prosecution because he does a couple of things. He shows that these payments that the jurors will hear more about, payments by Michael Cohen and payments by his parent, by David Pecker's parent company, American Media, were made in order to try and silence unfavorable stories about the president for the purpose of getting him elected. And that is a key part of this trial, that the payments were made not because Donald Trump didn't want Melania or his business associates or other people in his social circle to know about these allegations of affairs, but because it might hurt his chances getting elected. So that's kind of part number one that's key to the case, because again, the theory of the case is that Trump falsified business records in order to try and cover up campaign finance violations. And this brings us into the ambit of campaign finance violations. The second thing that David Pecker does, which is important, is that he puts Trump at the center of this scheme, that he puts Trump at this meeting or meetings about this catch and kill plan, And he says Trump knew, he was part of it. This isn't something that was cooked up between Michael Cohen and David Pecker. And so those two things are really the reason that David Pecker comes first and the reason that he is key to the prosecution's case here.
Yeah, that's a really great point, because Pecker also talks about promoting stories that make his political rivals look bad. So once again, if he was trying to say, no, it's about, I didn't want to embarrass Melania, it's a personal family thing. Yeah, well, what about this other half of the agreement that you had with Pecker, right? So in the meantime, the judge is currently weighing whether or not Donald Trump has already violated the gag order that was imposed upon him. We heard the arguments. It didn't seem like it was going so well for Donald Trump's attorneys, but we never got a conclusion from the judge. How serious are these violations? And, we talked about this before, but what could the potential consequences be?
So the potential consequences in this case would be monetary fines and a directive to take down certain posts. At this point, the prosecution isn't asking for, and they frankly, at this point, wouldn't get jail time. So if you are, in fact, held in contempt of court, eventually, one of the punishments on the table is jail time. But more than 9 times out of 10, when it comes to a gag order, at least the first remedy for violating it would be some sort of monetary penalty. And then again, a directive to stop doing something, or in the case of a post or a repost, take it down. So is this serious? It's serious in the sense that we see a potential violation of a court order. It's not serious if your barometer for seriousness is, will you see the inside of a jail cell?
All right, Jessica, thank you very much.